So it appears the Duchy intends to capture Glenbrook. But Prince Roland slipped from their grasp and fled to Wolford.
The ink on the treaty is barely dried, and they're already declaring war.
And what's more, there's a price on Prince Roland's head. It has spurred the masses into movement.
They will bear their fangs at us in time. We cannot leave them to their own devices.
I see this as a wonderful opportunity. We can make it clear how we stand after the Salt Iron War.
Aye. And I much prefer to extinguish embers than a raging inferno.
It sounds like you intend to start a war.
Calm yourselves. There is no need to get so worked up over this. It is true that this grave matter may one day affect Hyzant. But it is in times like these that we must trust the Hierophant's words more than ever.
I have a feeling they're going to try and spread their religion. Cyrano struggles with the news of his father's collapse, and an unexpected visitor arrives to speak with the new lord. Okay.
Father, please open your eyes. There is so much I wish to ask you.
Lord Serenoa.
I cannot let Father hear how weak I've become. I must be strong.
Lord Serenoa, Master Benedict, you have a visitor.
Who is it?
Lord Silvio Tellior. He wishes for an audience with Lord Serenoa.
What business would the Lord of House Tellior have with me? Tell him we will be there shortly.
Yes, sir.
Every day is busier than the last.
We haven't had a moment to catch our breath.
You are doing a fine job as head of House Wolford, Lord Serenoa. Your father would be proud if he could see you now.
I could not do it without you, Benedict. Thank you.
It seems like there's a scales of conviction thing. Now, I'm going to double check this really quickly just to make sure, but I'm fairly certain that here, Chapter 8, yeah, apparently whatever this vote is doesn't affect our ability to get the golden route, so we should be able to vote on whatever here for this one. Just make sure that there isn't other things. Okay, just making sure there, and I'll go ahead and save here real quick. That's what I shall do, save once again, and then, yeah, I'll save it as this slot, how about? As well, I'll do like that. There we go. Alrighty, let's see what's going on here.
In short, you wish for the three high houses to join hands and fight the duchy. Is that correct, Lord Silvio?
Indeed. I believe it our duty to fight. Some are frozen in fear, trembling at the mere thought of the duchy's power. I feel that joining the three high houses under a single flag is the only way to unite them. My men ready themselves for war as we speak. Come to Tellior, and we can strike at Esros together. Prince Roland will be safe with us, of course.
It's as good a plan as any. You have my thanks for getting the preparations underway.
I wonder if Lord Landroy would agree.
I doubt House Fawkes would refuse a fight. Their devotion to the crown knows no bounds.
But of course, they reaped great rewards from the bountiful lands won during the war.
You propose reuniting the three high houses who led the Salt Iron War to its end. It is heartening to know you would once again lend us your strength.
We certainly could use all the help we can get, though I wish we could resolve matters peacefully.
You speak as though your brother is not at fault for all this.
My bride-to-be bears no blame for the Duchy's actions.
My apologies. Forgive me for my outburst. But we haven't much time. I would have your answer now.
Shall we accept Lord Silvio's proposal, my lord?
Fetch the scales, Benedict. We shall decide our path together.
A sudden music change there. Lord Silvio made the journey to our domain to offer us an alliance. I would know what the others think on the matter. Accept Silvio's proposal and make for Tellior. Reject Silvio's proposal. Benedict's the one who's undecided here. That's interesting. Huh. Interesting. So one of the things I did wind up looking up after the last stream. Oh man, now I'm joking. One of the things I did look up after the last stream is what happens if you do give up Roland in the last chapter to S-Frost. And it seems like instead of doing a battle protecting not Glenbrook, House Wolfort, the domain over here, the battle that you get instead is it's actually kind of interesting what happens. So Prince Roland is taken over to the castle and, you know, freaking S-Frost, and the S-Frost leader is just like, it seems that House Wolfort is bending the knee to us since they handed you over. The house that just came and said hi to us, whatever their name is, Tellior, just chills and goes with the flow as well. So they're not a worry. But House Falx, they're the ones that are super loyal to the crown. They're gonna put up a fight. So they're like, hey Roland, do you wanna sign a document that'll order the execution of the head of that high house to avoid a war? Like, you wanna look out for your people, right? You wanna do that. You don't want any more bloodshed, right? You just want to resolve this peacefully, so go ahead and sign this to assassinate Mr. Dudo. So, House Wolfort is sent over to the Falx domain to try and resolve things peacefully and see if they can, like, chill with S-Frost as their new leaders, and then as they go in to, like, negotiate with Falx, S-Frost sends an invasion force into there, so that prompts Falx to be like, it was all a trick, you didn't come here to negotiate with us, so you have to fight with House Falx and essentially destroy that high house after essentially being tricked by the S-Frost leaders like that, by Gustadolf. It's freaking, what a brilliant tactician, and what a twisted but brilliant tactician there Gustadolf was. Like, when I looked up the cutscenes of that other route that we could have taken, I was like, whoa, that's insane. So had we done the other route, we would have had to, like, destroy House Falx. So, because we didn't, now we have House Tellior coming here and being like, hey, you want to do an alliance, the three of us? So I wonder what would happen afterwards. Now, go to the city streets, yep. And apparently if you do the other route, then Roland is imprisoned shortly afterwards and his execution is ordered, so I assume that you have to, like, go and save him. I haven't, like, finished seeing what cutscenes and events follow if you do that route. I plan on watching some more later tonight, most likely, and seeing what's going on with that, because it's kind of crazy. Let's see here. The Lord of House Tellior came all this way to ask for an alliance. Just between you and me, they wouldn't be much of a help in battle. House Tellior is indeed not known for their prowess on the battlefield, but I do not know if we have the luxury of choosing our allies now. I'll do this, and then that won't block that. Learn about House Tellior's might, yeah. They just kind of seem to go with the flow, what they think has, like, the best odds overall for their own sake. And Falx is all about, like, complete loyalty to the crown. And Wolfort here is whatever the player chooses. Is this a surprise tax? Rear guard's cloak? What is that? Decreases damage taken when being hit from behind. Oh, I should give that to, yeah, because one of your abilities is already decreasing damage from behind. So let's just give that to Eridor so that he really doesn't care about being stabbed in the back at all. Appeal to his strength there. Oh dear, how could this happen? At a time like this. Is something the matter? Whatever it is, I would be happy to help. Well, you see, my daughter and her husband got into a fight and decided to go their separate ways. But I fear what will happen to their poor son. I don't know what I should do. I fear there is aught you can do. The issue is between the two of them and must be resolved as such. Children are the ones who suffer most when parents fight. I think your efforts are best spent helping them reconcile. There's not to be gained by forcing themselves to stay together. Separating and starting new lives is for the best. But I want to say something about what to do about the kiddo, because that's a concern here. But you don't want to force them to reconcile if they don't like each other. I guess this is all focusing on, you know, the relationship between them two rather than the kiddo here. Yeah, the issues between the two of them, I guess. Sure. And apparently in New Game Plus, it'll actually show each of the three, like, what conviction they strengthen, each of them. So, for, like, your first kind of casual playthrough, it doesn't show that, and, you know, you just kind of play it and see what happens, and see what kind of convictions you get, and what kind of routes that winds up giving you, and whatnot. But in New Game Plus, it actually gives you the ability to, like, you know, directly influence what way you want to go. Suppose you're right. It might just make things worse if I stick my nose in where it doesn't belong. In the end, it might be for the best that they give each other some space. Thank you, Lord Serenoa. I feel so much better now that we've spoken. I apologize for burdening you with my family's troubles, especially at a time like this. You needn't apologize. No family is perfect. I saw a glitter down here, so I'm just gonna really quickly get the quality fiber. Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, look at this. The town is perfectly intact because we didn't set it on fire in the last chapter. Isn't that great? So I wonder what the town would look like here if you had set it on fire. Lord Serenoa, thank you for protecting our house. No problem, kiddo. I wasn't gonna burn your house. It did mean that I needed to resort to some extreme levels of jank to win. But I got it done. Ooh. Oh, large HP recovery pellet. I will take it. I don't need to talk to the cat. Okay. Alright, I've collected my surprise taxes. I can be on my merry way here. Oh, is this a sparkle? Obtain leather. Is that a material for, like, improving weapons and stuff? What is that? I'm so happy everyone's house is okay. My doll was at home right where I left it, safe and sound. Okay, so things are definitely different compared to if you burn things down. I have no idea how relieved I am that our homes were spared from the blaze. My daughter's favorite toy was right where she left it at home, and my husband will be able to rest easy when he comes home at night. So if you burn the houses, are they gonna, like, hit you with a big, like, guilt pill from the damage that you caused? We'll rebuild Wolfort with our own hands. We drove back thus frosty, so leave the rest to us. It's not much to rebuild. We left it intact. Is the thing, though. Huh. Interesting. So some dialogue, it seems like it's gonna be the same no matter what, but some dialogue is different. No surprise taxes in here, I don't think. Silvio is the lord of House Tellior, but I don't care much for the man, to tell the truth. He has some nerve coming around here in such fancy robes while we break our backs repairing the town. So dialogue like that, I assume, doesn't change no matter what, but dialogue like this is different. Lord Serenoa, you drove back this frosty forest with such splendor. I expected no less of House Wolfort. Have you heard of how the other houses are faring? To tell the truth, my family lives in the Tellior domain. They say that Lord Silvio is not a man of the military arts and fear what should happen were Esfrost to invade. Pure Blood Knight's medal? Maybe? Maybe that's the medal from Elden Ring there, Guzma? Maybe? It's something like that. It's like an orange-looking emblem thingamabob. Tellior is wealthy and well-connected. I doubt they would be so easily crushed by the duchy. For better or worse, Lord Silvio is unchanging. I could stand to learn something from his ever-composed example. If worse comes to worse, your family is always welcome in Wolfort, but Lord Silvio leads one of the 3 high houses and would do whatever it took to protect his domain. Let's say that one, how about? Thank you. You are most gracious, Lord Serenoa. Hearing you say that puts my mind at ease. I only wish House Tellior were so reliable. I shall let my family know what you have told me and invite them here to Wolfort. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good there. Hello, Hawks. He's looking for the emblem that brings you to the ultra grind spot in Elden Ring there. I was forgetting what it was called, but I think Guzma may have found it. Found the name there. Our homes were spared thanks to you, Lord Serenoa. Townspeople send their heartfelt gratitude. But it was a hard-won battle. Both the soldiers and the townspeople have seen better days. My people are suffering after a battle on our own soil. I doubt we will be able to face another attack from Esfrost alone. Learn about House Wolfort's weakness. At least we're not as weak as we would be had we burned the houses. Anyway, how are you doing today, Hawks? How go things? Surprise taxes? Surprise taxes. Enchanting spice. Alright, I guess that's all in the way of surprise tax this time. Guess that's all there. I think I've inspected everything, right? I was already up here. Hey, look, the statues are no longer around. Or the sculptures, or whatever the heck they were. The birds. The birds that would set the town on fire that we refused to use. Hi. I guess we'll go back. Will it be returning, my lord? Yeah, let's return to the council chamber. Yeah, it's time to save. It's time to save. Doing well, been chilling with some Lego Harry Potter. I have that on my freaking Nintendo DS from way back in the day, but that's only one of those I've played. But I think I have it on my shelf back there. If I, let's see here. Hold on. Let's see here. You mean something like this? Something like that there? I haven't played it much. I don't even remember when I got it. I'm not even a Harry Potter fan, like, at all. I remember playing the old school Lego Star Wars games on my PS2 way back when, but, put this back. But yeah, that's one of the games on my shelf there. Wow. My headphones back on. I assume you're probably not playing the DS version, but, yeah, go ahead and save. I think I already did, but I'm doing it again just to be safe. So, yeah, I'm, in terms of this vote, I'm a little bit sketched out by Telior here as well. Myself. But I think, yeah, they can be fun, chill thingamabobs. One of these days I want to play Lego City Undercover on the channel one day. Hi. What, would you rather lay next to me now instead? Is that what you'd rather do? I feel like Silvio just kind of goes with the path of least resistance, or what he figures will ensure like his survival and his land's survival the best, is what I feel like he'll go with before loyalty to the crown and kingdom and whatnot. So I'm honestly not sure how he looks at things right now. I feel like if he thinks that we have a chance here if we unite the three high houses to take on Esfrost, that we can trust him and he's gonna be chill and whatnot. And I do think, from what I understand of this world, if the three high houses were pivotal in the Salt Iron War, then the three high houses should be good enough to take on Esfrost there and reclaim Glenbrook, right? So if Silvio truly believes that, then we should be able to trust him. But if Silvio believes that the path of least resistance and the best odds that he has is to side with Esfrost and take out the other two high houses, and then we get stabbed in the back from him. So, how's this game going? I hope it's getting better than the start. The last stream, we had the choice of give up Roland or protect him, and we decided to protect him, and we had a battle here where we were fighting to protect Roland and whatnot. Now, the game gives you these traps that you can set off. There's like one that you set off here, and then it sets like this whole area over here ablaze and whatnot. There's a trap that's like over here or something, and it sets like this area or something ablaze, and there's one like up there that you set off, and it sets like this area ablaze. And when you do that, it's a complete insta-kill on the enemies. But the thing is, I found out that there is a true ending to this game, and whether you protect or give up Roland apparently does not matter for the true ending, but if you choose to protect him, you can't use any of the fire traps, because it does have an effect on things. Like look at this, they're like, oh, you have no idea how relieved I am that our homes were spared from the blaze. Like all these, there's these people thanking me that I didn't burn the town down and whatnot. But playing it on hard mode last night, doing that, you could tell that that map was designed, like, keeping in mind that the game very much intended you to use the fire traps. It was very, very difficult to do it without the fire traps. Like, it threw so many enemies at you, such a crazy onslaught, that I didn't know whether I could beat it or not, but I managed to jank over the enemies with our Griffin Archer Huette by just sniping from the roofs up here. The last, 8 enemies that were standing or something like that after all my other units fell. I just sniped all the rest bit by bit and then won, and I was like, okay, great, I win now. And that was after, 3 attempts in 2 hours, so, I'm hoping that future chapters here won't be as hard. I feel like this last chapter was made a whole lot more difficult because of me not using any of the fire traps that I think the game very much intended me to use. There probably won't be situations like that in future maps, I hope. So, we shall see. Let's hear what everyone says before I try to convince anybody. Right now I'm leaning towards accepting Silvio's proposal and making for Telior. There's a small part of me that worries it might be a trap, honestly. But that's what I'm leaning towards right now. I'm gonna hear what they all have to say before I try to vote. Try to influence anybody to vote either way. Our soldiers are exhausted after our last battle with S-Frost. I know we need all the help we can get, but even so, I cannot find it in me to trust House Telior. Yeah, I'm a little bit sketched out by them as well. Note that we need all the help we can get after the battle with General of Laura, and yet you're a little bit sketched out by them. I am too.
What do you need?
You know, in my game design class on tabletop games, which a lot of the principles of which, you know, carry over to video games, like it's still the same kind of ideas, we talked about different kinds of decisions, and we talked about things like meaningful decisions, and I've talked about meaningful decisions in a couple of my video essays. One of the types of decisions that I haven't really talked about in any of the video essays is excruciating decisions, where games design things in such a way where a decision is really, really excruciating. One of the examples that the professor had used was XCOM, when you have a really not the best of a hit rate, and it's do you want to try going for this chance of saving their one unit? Do you want to pull them out there and, you know, risk other damage? Do you want to just chill in there? What do you want to do at the risk of one of your own units? It's an excruciating decision. What is the right play here? What do I gamble on either way, you know? Not knowing how it's gonna turn out. It seems like Triangle Strategy very much is a game designed around making excruciating decisions and having to live with the consequences of your actions. I find that very fascinating, quite frankly. You know, the Protect Roland or Give Up Prince Roland are now the side with Telior or, you know, reject Telior, when, you know, if you do work together with other high houses, you have a chance. But if Telior betrays you, which they might, I'm a little bit sketched out by them, then what's gonna happen? So, of course, it wouldn't be an excruciating decision if you know, the full story ahead of time or something like that and know what's gonna happen. But going in blind like this seems like a game that the best experience is gonna be the first playthrough, and, truly making those excruciating decisions and having to live with the consequences. Yeah, so I'm leaning towards accepting the proposal, but I am sketched out. I hear that Telior Domain is known for its wine, not warriors. Makes me wonder if it is truly necessary for us to join forces at a time like this. I would have no qualms if Lord Silvio were a man of upstanding character, but the rumors I hear only speak to the contrary. Would he betray us? Can we really put our trust in Lord Silvio? The people don't seem to speak too highly of him. Yeah, I really think that Silvio just goes with the flow and whatever's gonna protect him best. So the real question here is, does Silvio genuinely believe that this alliance could overthrow S-Frost, or is it just a front? That's a real question here. I wish I knew a bit more about him to make a better decision. Do you truly think allying ourselves with House Telior would stop the spread of the war? It makes me wonder if it would only be pouring oil on the fire. Ah!
Serenoa.
Say I have no doubts about Lord Silvio will be a lie. Even so, we are in sore need of allies. If the three high houses stand together, we may be able to turn the tides of war in our favor. Lord Silvio leads one of Glenbrook's high houses. As such, we cannot so simply rebuff his offer. But right now, we need all the help we can get. Would he be super helpful if he doesn't have, much of an army, and it's just, his whole nation is just about, economics and such, and chillin'? Houses are sworn to protect the crown, yet Lord Silvio couldn't be bothered to leave Telior when the capital was in danger. Yeah, he was just chilling. He was bunkering away there.
Here's what I think.
I can't help but wonder what he's scheming, but if he wants to join forces, I see no reason to refuse him. I have a hunch that he might be plotting with S-Frost. Can't help but wonder what Lord Silvio's scheming, but If he wants to join forces, I see no reason to refuse him. Would he stab us in the back to side with S. Frost? Because they're not exactly super loyal.
Lord Serenoa.
Everyone has their suspicions over Lord Silvio's offer, but I think we can guess his true intentions easily enough. Whatever House Telior's aim might be, I'm certain we can use it to our advantage. Huh. You think that we can use it to our advantage? Whatever their aim is. What if their aim is to side with S. Frost and betray us, though?
Yes, sir.
We must be prepared for any who would march against us, but our forces are lacking both in number and supplies. House Telior's motives matter not. We could use even those against them should the need arise. Ah, you think that if we do need to go against them, we can do it? Think we should accept his proposal, if only to better our own situation. Huh. Ha! Like when games have this, make you second guess every choice you make. Yeah. As was discussed in that tabletop games class, it's the perfect example of excruciating decision making and having to live with that choice. Huh. Were I in this situation myself, I think that I would probably try to lean towards accepting Silvio's proposal. But I can't help but shake the feeling that, like, he's gonna betray us for S. Frost. But Benedict seems to think that no matter what their motives are, we can use it to our advantage, right?
Lord Serenoa.
So he's leaning a little bit towards, like, allying with Silvio. It seems like than he is for refusing there. Huh. Whatever House Telior's aim might be, I'm certain we can use it to our advantage. Sure. An alliance with House Telior is certainly worth considering. Pray tell me what swayed you, my lord. A bounty on the prince. Huh. No matter the course, we will need greater numbers to see it through. Joining hands with the fellow High House will expand the paths available to us. The Crown City has fallen, making the movements of the High Houses more important than ever. Joining the forces, is the first step in gaining new allies. I would welcome any help we could get in protecting Prince Roland. Now, what I found out from the last chapter and the last negotiation is when you go around town and get more information like this, the new information that you unlock from the intel that you gathered isn't always necessarily going to be the right option that correctly sways them. So I was thrown off by that the last time, because last time it was like, you know, in a lot of video games, if you go out of your way to gather more intel and unlock a new option, usually that new option that you unlock will be the right one to correctly do what you need to do, in this case, convincing your fellow party members. But as I found out last time, even though it unlocks more options, those new options aren't necessarily the, always the right ones. So, last time I always unlocked new options if I had them, but would welcome any help we could get in protecting Prince Roland. Crown City has fallen, making the movements of the High Houses more important than ever. Joining forces is the first step in gaining new allies. Now, of course, we will need greater numbers to see it through. Joining hands with the fellow High House will expand the paths available to us. I'm doing this one. So you hope to increase our numbers by allying with another High House, I see. But you speak true, even if Lord Silvio is a man of dubious character. There is still a chance we may recruit formidable allies to our cause. Nevertheless, it seems you, too, harbor suspicions over Lord Silvio's character. Yeah? You really think it would be to our advantage to ally ourselves with such a dubious man? That's what I'm sketched out about! I do not intend to put my blind trust in Lord Silvio. As we are now, though, it is an offer we cannot refuse. I would do all I could to better our situation, even if just a little. To that end, an alliance would be most welcome. I would ally with him only to ensure our survival. I'm certain both his houses might, and their name would serve us well. Yeah, I won't be putting my blind trust in him, but we gotta accept this right now. A fine resolve, my lord. If only we use those. If we only used those we could trust, we would find ourselves at an impasse before long. A leader must be possessed of a capacious mind, just as you are. Benedict has been moved by your words. Nice! That felt like a successful negotiation, probably. He probably got swayed there, I would imagine. Yeah, so the, assuming he is correctly swayed there, the new options that I unlocked weren't necessarily the correct ones. I like that. I think that that's That's interesting. So the other ones that I need to convince are over here. It seems like soldiers are exhausted after the last battle with Frost. I know we need all the help we can get, but even so, I cannot find any to trust House Telior. Yeah, I'm a little bit sketched out by them as well, but that's what I'm gonna be leaning towards that, I think. Pray tell, Lord Serenoa, what do you think of Lord Silvio's offer? Glenbrook's 3 high houses. The greater our forces, the better. We may finally be able to catch our breaths if we have more soldiers on our side. I would be grateful for the support, considering those who would aid us now are few and far between. An alliance between the high houses would raise the soldiers' morale, all the more so knowing Telior is prepared for battle. Yeah, I think that one.
Quite true.
I must admit, it lifts even my spirits to think about it. No doubt House Falks would feel the same. I see now that it is time for the high houses to stand together and drive back the duchy. Truth be told, though, I have my reservations about Lord Silvio, who devised the entire plan. Yeah, what if it's for Esfrost? If you don't mind my asking, what makes you so sure we should ally with them? I'm not sure. Bounty on the prince. The repeated battles are taking their toll on the domain. I would ask for House Telior's support to ease the suffering of my people. There's no telling when Esfrost will strike at us again. We must take every measure we can to see we are prepared. Esfrost has placed a bounty on Roland's head. The more allies we have, the safer he would be. This would be the answer I would give normally, but considering Huette is all about protecting Roland, I think this is going to be the thing that's most convincing to her. As one of the King's Guard, I share your concerns.
However,
but I cannot shake the feeling that there is more to House Telior's offer than meets the eye. I'm certain of it as well, but we also get put in a really, really bad position if we reject it, is the thing. You know? Were House Falk seeking an alliance, I would readily agree. Lord Landroy's loyalty to the crown knows no bounds after all. But Lord Silvio is a different matter entirely. If you are concerned for His Highness's safety, we ought to proceed with utmost caution. I'm glad we had the chance to speak, Lord Serenoa. It has helped clear my thoughts on the matter. You're probably gonna vote the same anyway. Yeah, both options honestly feel like bad options. It's either put ourselves in a really bad position or put ourselves in a position to get backstabbed is what I feel like is going on here. This sucks. Oh, man. Again, excruciating decisions in games. I hear that the Telior domain is known for its wine, not warriors. Makes me wonder if it is truly necessary for us to join forces at a time like this. I would have no qualms if Lord Silvio were a man of upstanding character, but the rumors I hear only speak to the contrary. We should ally with Lord Silvio and head to Telior. The more allies one can avail themselves to, the better. That being said, an untrustworthy ally avails no one. Would you not agree? We can't pick and choose with our allies right now, as we were talking to Benedict about. The paths before us now are regrettably few, but new allies will open up new options. We must first and foremost address our supply shortage. House Telior could help us there. Our forces are dwindling from the battles we faced. House Wolfort needs allies if we are to survive. Yeah, we're not in a position where we can pick and choose.
I don't think so.
We contended against the Duchy's forces all on our own. Stands to reason we would sustain considerable losses. Even so, House Telior might be more of a hindrance than help on the field. From what I hear, their soldiers want for more than just experience in battle. I doubt putting our faith in Lord Silvio will be worth any of the additional forces that might avail us to. Oh, darn it. Apparently you also gain conviction points when you successfully, sway people, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. Do you truly think allying ourselves with House Telior would stop the spread of the war? I don't know. Makes me wonder if it would only be pouring oil on the fire. This one will not easily be swayed. What do you think of Lord Silvio's proposal, Serenoa? I'm sketched out, but our forces need all the help they can get, and I believe House Telior could provide us some much-needed relief on the battlefield. It would be a boon to soldiers and civilians alike if House Telior would grant us food and provisions. An alliance between the high houses would lift the people's spirits. Something sorely needed in times like these. One of these two. I'll do this one.
Surely.
I have heard tell of the high house's loyalty to the crown. An alliance may very well give the people of Glenbrook something to hope for in these dark times. Perhaps my worries were unfounded. Is there something about House Telior that concerns you, Frederica? There is indeed. I cannot help but wonder what Lord Silvio's true intentions are, and if Esfrost has some part to play in all this. He is gonna stab us in the back, isn't he? Oh, crud. Esfrost will likely strike at us again before we know it. They are not the type to wallow in defeat. If we refuse Lord Silvio's offer, there's a chance that Esfrost will bring him to heel instead. There's a chance the Duchy has already recruited House Tellior to their cause. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about here.
No.
In which case, would it not be better to refuse Lord Silvio's proposal? It is merely a possibility. We must look at the situation from all angles before we make our decision. You speak true, Serenoa. Allow me to think on the matter just a little more. Oh, I'm setting myself up to get stabbed in the back, aren't I? I'm already almost tempted to reload my save and start leaning towards rejecting Silvio's proposal. Is this a way? No, it's not a way. Jeez, this... I'm gonna get stabbed in the back, aren't I? I know it. But, like, if we refuse it, we're also in a bad position. I think it's literally just what bad position do I want to put myself in? Is what I think it is. Gosh darn it. Let's commence voting. Let's commence voting, then. Man. This game, huh? Voting.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we accept House Tellior's proposal, or go our own way? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I also don't know why Serenoa doesn't get to vote himself.
You make a convincing argument, my lord.
Thanks, Benedict. I'm glad I make a convincing argument. I guess maybe because Serenoa is the one that's allowed to go around trying to convince everyone else. I guess they're not allowed to go around trying to convince each other. I don't know.
Even still.
But I guess it's designed this way so that there's always like an odd number. Oh, man. I mean, I understand. I'm probably setting myself up to get stabbed in the back. This game.
Please forgive me.
Yeah. I assume it's gonna be like the 3-3 and then Benedict being on our side.
The scales of
Side with
conviction will
Tellior.
illuminate the path we've chosen.
I imagine. It's well most likely happen, but I don't know which one is the better one to go with. Yeah, we're making for Tellior. We're gonna walk straight into a trap, aren't we?
The way forward is decided. We join forces with House Tellior and defy the Duchy's wrath.
Oh, we're gonna get so backstabbed. Oh no.
Huzzah! The tidings of our alliance will no doubt bring relief to the aching hearts of our people. Now then, Prince Roland, you and all of House Wolford simply must come to Tellior.
Oh, if he is insisting,
Thank you.
it has to be a trap
Don't
then.
worry about a thing. Leave everything in my capable hands.
If he's gonna make us come to Tellior.
I shall throw a grand banquet to commemorate the occasion.
Oh, I chose wrong, didn't I?
This is hardly the time for celebrations.
Is something on your mind, Benedict?
No, my lord.
I'm already kind of tempted to reload that save and make the other decision. I'm already tempted. I'm gonna save into a different slot here.